conditions before you start pushing the car.
Hello everyone, and you're very welcome back to another video today. And yeah, welcome back to round 2 of 16 for the League of Europe, and we're back at Silverstone, a track I've been really looking forward to since the calendar was announced. And yeah, it's my second ever league race as well, so trying to build off the experience from the first one. And I just want to take this opportunity to just say thank you to everyone who checked out the video and dropped a like and everything, and that is following the channel as well. As a result, the support was pretty insane from everyone at the league as well, so I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say that. But yeah, it's a wet qualifying. Once again, we're really up against it in this league. The rain loves to follow us wherever we go. So yeah, today this qualifying was all about just trying to maximize the speed that we had in a dry qualifying. Trying to translate it all over to the wet. It wasn't easy, because you're basically coming into it expecting a dry qualifying every time, but when the rain comes, it just decides to hit at the worst time. But as I said in the first video, I enjoy the rain. It's definitely difficult. It poses its challenges, but to me, I think it basically resets the whole field, and everyone is nervous. Everyone's very sketchy on track, so it's an opportunity to actually to stay as relaxed as possible and to just try to maximize your time. Whatever you put out on the grid, that's what you're going to get. There's no point in trying to push it if it feels uncomfortable, which is something that I certainly didn't want to do in this qualifying, because I came in with my expectations set. I was hoping to get a podium in this race, and as you can see here, we just about hold on to the car, and that was to me a sign that I was pushing way too hard. I was going outside my realm of knowledge, if you want to call it that. I was really pushing, but the grip wasn't there either. The track actually was drying up really quickly, and as you can see here, just look how dry it's gotten already, because we're already 2.5 seconds up on our fastest time in the wet tires. But the intermediates really started to actually come into their own, and as you can see, we've only got a minute left of qualifying. So this is going to be our third lap, but next time round will be our final lap. And at this moment we're P5, but we go P2 at the moment, and 2.5 tenths off. And I was feeling pretty good about this. I felt like I could definitely find that time, as Bones goes faster than us as well, so he's really looking good. We've got Heated and Cali behind us as well, so there's definitely a lot of time. But as you can see, there's just times I'm not getting on the throttle, and I'm losing out on those traction zone times, especially just trying to feel the throttle and just trying to push it down. Just again, that cautiousness was setting in, and I didn't want to rush it, and I didn't want to do anything that would just kind of throw away all the time I was finding. So I was pretty conscious of that at the time. But as you can see, we're coming through now. We're like almost 3 tenths up. If I can see that in my monitor, it's 2.5 tenths, I think. Yeah, no, we're up at 3 tenths. I'm sorry, I've got terrible eyesight. But yeah, as we're coming through now, the best part of the track, Maggots and Beckett's. I love this part of the track. We're finding a little bit more time. We're half a second up, and we go fastest in sector 2. So this is really looking like a good lap, and it could put us in the front row if we can just hold it around this final section as we come through Cops now, or Stowe, sorry, and yeah, just down into Vale, and we're just trying to just kind of thread the needle as much as we can. But we come through, we're losing a bit more time, and we go P1 at the moment, but we've got more cars behind us, and Bones beats us once again. So we were on pole for a short time. I was pretty happy, but then just that moment when I saw it was P2, I was like, oh well. But our teammate now, Frosty Calvin, who's looking really rapid, comes through. He puts himself in P3, and we're both starting next to each other on the grid. But there's more cars to come around as Sam T takes pole for the British Grand Prix. And yeah, this one was that was a really exciting qualifying. I was really happy with it, but I'm more happy with the result that myself and Calvin got. We're both P3 and P4 on the grid, which really maximizes our opportunities now coming into the race. We're both starting on the mediums. We're going very aggressive, and yeah, to me this race was just, I really just wanted to get a podium. But apart from that as well, I really just wanted to get no penalties. That was the biggest one, because I got two time penalties in Austria. They really cost me. Kind of whatever the result you put in, like on track, it's just immediately thrown out the window with the penalties. And to stay as clean as possible on track, hold it on track, don't try to force it if it's not there. And like, if we can do that, then we should be in with a good chance. But we're just waiting now on the 5 red lights. We line up on the grid. As the first lights come on, we go to 4 and 5, and we rev up the engine as best we can. But as you can see, out of the top 5, we probably get the worst start out of everyone. We just about managed to actually hold it around coming in, and our teammate just leaves us enough room. And like, it's imperative that we stay with Bones and Sam up ahead, because if I could hold P3, that just puts me in a good spot with the rest of the race. Because Harry has gotten past Calvin, and he is looking really rapid on those softs. He is going to be really challenging us going up now to over to Brooklands now. And as you can see, he's trying to send it around the outside, but we just about manage to hold it off. We keep the inside line and just let him know, I am not letting this place go. But already we've gotten our first warning, and that is not good, because on the first lap we get our first warning, and of all times and of all places I could have, it's just annoying. So that was a little thing, that was a warning just at the time. Just calm down, don't force it, keep the car on track. The cars ahead are going to be quicker. But as you can see, we're just starting to reel in Bones a little bit here. He just gets a bad exit, but Sam T has just absolutely got a mega start up ahead. He is flying out ahead, and this was the big one. You know, could I keep up with these two guys ahead? I think my pace in the dry was reasonably good, as we go quite wide there. But I think my pace in the dry was really good. I definitely found when myself and Calvin we were practicing. Trying to stay in the slipstream around here is just it's so important that you do that, because if you don't, then it's going to be very difficult. As you can see, Bones has now caught up with Sam, so like, things are starting to settle down, and we get a safety car on lap 2 already. Oh, so this was an opportunity to just take a step back and breathe, as I think it's going to do now. It's been quite a hectic start, but we decide to come into the pits. Sam, he comes in ahead of us as well, but Bones is going to stay out. I saw Sam as the big threat here in this race, and whichever one of those two bited on the hard tyres, I knew that's who I was going to be racing against. But Sam is the one that came into hit the hard tyres, and so kind of at the moment we are probably running a net P1 and P2 at the moment, because after the safety car restart, it's just going to be between us, and really and truly the soft tires are going to hold out a little bit longer, but I think after a while we are going to catch up with the cars ahead. And basically we have to stay with Sam the whole way through this race as much as we can. Whether or not we can get past him or not is one thing, but basically if we can stay with him, which we do a pretty bad job of at the moment with the safety car, but that was fine. I was just able to stay calm and just try and maximize my speed on track. But really and truly at the moment, it's just about, can we get through these crop of cars up ahead who have stayed out. My teammate Calvin as well has stayed out. He is on the medium tyre, so he's looking to extend as much as he can. He's going to try and go on to the soft tyres at some stage. But Sam, and so as you can see, Bones makes a mistake and he has lost the lead. He dropped out of the race lead with that mistake, so that was a real shame for him. But now, as you can see, lap 8, we've caught up right now to the back of Sam, and kind of this is where we have to just play it smart. We can't try to force anything, because you know, Sam is really quick, and I kind of got the feeling if I overtook him too soon, he would just get me back on the next lap. So kind of at the moment, the whole race was a waiting game. So what I mean by that is, like, I just wanted to try and save as much energy as I could and just try to maximize just everything I had going for me and staying onto the back of Sam. If an opportunity arose, I would take it. But in saying that, it's very, very difficult. As you can see now, we're really starting to push. And yeah, we set a purple first sector as we just like try to fake it up the inside of Sam, but we kind of lose our line a little bit, and we lose a bit of time at the same time. So kind of now we're starting to catch up with the crop of cars ahead, and this was going to be really, really difficult. So basically, if Sam was able to get through one of them, we had to get them back on the next lap. So as you can see here, we're going now into this corner, and Sam is going to panic a little bit, and he is just going to dive right up the inside, and he hits into the side of Kieran. We try to just keep it held on track, but I knew at this stage that I had to get past Kieran because Sam was under investigation like by the stewards for that collision. So let's just see what happens with that towards the end of the race. But as you can see, Kieran is just pushing us a little bit. He's still on the soft tires. They're still going to have initial grip, but we just have to stay ahead of Kieran now as much as we can. I cannot let Sam get away, because if we do, I'm screwed. There's no possible way. Like, Heated is on our tail as well, so that kind of buffer between myself and Alec and Heated was really good because I was able to make that move stick. So as you can see, we're now starting to just catch up back now to Sam, but he's going to have the benefit of DRS. He's got his teammate up ahead as well, and I was expecting there to be some kind of way that they were working with each other, but I don't think they were. Like, that's what I was waiting on. But as you can see, Harry and who else is going into the pits? I think that is Major Falcon. He's going into the pits as well. So right now, Frosty Kelvin is ahead of Sam, and that's the thing. I wasn't kind of worried about, like, I didn't want to screw up my teammates' race because we're both running our own race. We're on different strategies, so I wasn't going to say, like, hold up Sam, because I really had the speed. And as you can see here, this is lap 15. We're starting to make our move now on Sam, and we're just going to brake as hard as we can and as late as we can, but Sam just puts the car in a spot where I can't turn the nose in. I have to go straight. So that kind of compromised my attack a little bit, which is fair. But like, it was at this stage I was like, if I'm going to get past Sam, it's going to have to be a really, really bold move. And that's something I didn't want to do. And, you know, because it would effectively screw up both our races, and it would put us in the clutches of Goldie and Heated. As Sam just goes really, really aggressive on the defense, but we're just going to try and now trick him as much as possible. Because the more I went into this race, the more I kind of felt that Sam was under pressure. I could see him locking up. I could see him, you know, but he had really, really good speed. And that was so hard to compete with in this race. And as you can see, we're just going to try and stay with him now. We're going to follow with the rest of this lap. And as we're approaching Maggots and Beckett's now. And yeah, this race just was non-stop. Like, it was just myself and Sam the whole way through. We both just put on such a good show, but we're just going to try and see what we can do this time. We move to the right, we move back over to the left, and Sam kind of follows us. You know, at the time I did report that to the stewards, but like, it came back that there wasn't anything wrong with it. But at the time, it definitely irked me because, you know, how like Sam had committed to the inside line, I moved back and he moved over to block me. But you know, if the stewards didn't deem that it was a penalty of some sort, then that's fine. But at the time, it did bother me. It did kind of irk me a little bit because, you know, like, I'm all for like getting the elbows out, but like, at the same time, I don't ever want to like have anything like that happen where I could like punt like anyone off. So yeah, we're just gonna try and stick with Sam with the rest of the race, like, as much as we can. But it was difficult, you know. At this stage, I was really starting to just question, like, you know, do I have the speed? Do I have the ability? Do I have the experience to actually make a move as bold as, you know, going around the outside of somewhere. So this race was a real test and a real trial, like a real trial by fire as well. As you can see on lap 20 now, we're just going to try and just try and get a massive run on Sam. We're going to try and use all their energy. He goes to the inside this time, but we try and hold it around the outside. We go down into fourth, but we just make slight contact, and I did not want to send it up the inside because I just felt like the opportunities are there. I just need to save energy. I just need to save energy as much as I can. And I could see that Sam was getting really stressed out here. I could see that I was getting to him, and that was what I wanted. I just wanted to really just pick away at Sam as much as I could, make him think that we're going for it. And if we do, we're going to take our chances. But really, I could sense I could have had him on this lap. I could take him if I just stay as patient as I can. Obviously, use the energy as much as I can, but try to save it for those parts of the track. As you can see, we're really close on him now.
Okay, the safety car
And yeah, we get another safety car. And
we need to form up at a reduced pace.
oh,
Close
that
on
one
Delta
was...
9. Make sure to keep it positive.
Yeah,
Okay, slow
that
down,
one was
slow
difficult.
down.
When that came out, I was
Negative, which
raging.
means you
I
are
was
too
so
fast. Reduce
angry.
your
Like
pace.
Frosty over the radio as well. When I was speaking to him, I just could not believe it. And I think that both of us were angry because Frosty had a bad pit stop. He put on the mediums that he started the race with, so we were both kind of very angry at this stage over the radio with ourselves, because I had the opportunities with Sam, and then kind of this leaves us now where we don't have any DRS, and we've 2 laps. We have 2 laps left to make this move, and our tires were freezing. I could not get the heat in the tires, like the hards just would not heat up. But I kind of get the sense that looking back at the footage, Sam was probably in the same boat, because he goes a little bit wide here and he might not get the power down, but Goldie is right behind us and he is making a huge charge in us, and I put the car in the middle of the track and I says, I have come this far, I am not giving this up. So the horns are out now. We've got bull horns in our head at the moment. We just have to really just grind this out as much as we can. We're going to need to do it the old-fashioned way without DRS, as we get our second warning of the race. I think one more and we get a penalty. But basically Goldie is right there as well. So anything that happens between me and Sam, Goldie has an opportunity to capitalise, because he's looking really good on those mediums despite how old they are. But as you can see, we get a really good run out of this corner and we're just trying to push it. But you know, Sam and myself, we both have the most amount of energy after that safety car. We both have the equal amount. We're equal on pace, so this was really difficult. My only hope at this stage was to just see if I could catch him, but I will stress that Sam is under investigation for that crash with Kieran in lap 11. That is something that I wasn't thinking about at this point of the race. I was just thinking about, I need to get past this guy. I want to get this on track as much as I can. And as you can see, Sam is just out of energy, but we're just gonna try and not use as much as we can, and we're just trying to feather as we just go now on to the last lap of this incredible race. You know, I can't begin to stress just how amazing this was. Like, it was so intense and so hardcore. It was just like I couldn't believe it when I was racing, but I was just trying to concentrate so hard, because we have an opportunity now to take Sam on the final lap if we can just keep these tires to a stage of where they're not going off, as he goes very aggressive once again, and we're just going to try and hold it with him as much as possible. He locks up a little bit and we just almost cut the corner, and as we can see, we're just trying to get the power down here, but we lose the car a little bit. It's not going our way, and the only hope we have at this stage is for Sam to either make a mistake, or if he gets a place penalty after that, or after the crash with Kieran. That's our only opportunity. We're flying ahead of Goldie and heated, and at this stage I just had to keep the car on track. I just tried to push as much as I could, try and hold it with Sam, but he was just too good. He was too fast on the day. But I think between the two of us, we drove the best races we possibly could have driven, and we're just going to see now if we can send it up the inside. We're too far back. The only opportunity now is if the stewards deem that Sam caused a collision with Kieran, as Sam crosses the line and we come in second. But Sam did get a 1-place grid penalty for that collision, which means we finish second on track, but we get our first league race win of our career.
Oh my god! What did you do?
What did you do?
You know right! You're right! Oh my god, guys, we did it again! Oh my god, yes!
Yeah, like I don't even know what to say about this one. I can't believe that my first league racing win has come this early. I didn't expect it to. I do apologise if the celebrations are a bit excessive, but I didn't have an opportunity to celebrate on the podium. But it was an epic win, and I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I'm really excited for the next race. But guys, I'm going to leave it there, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Cheers.